By some people's definition of success, I would have been considered a failure in school. In elementary school, I struggled in math and writing, and I was slow to begin reading. I have vivid memories of getting back yet another math test with a bright red F at the top of the page. I was the kid with the multiplication table permanently taped to the corner of my desk. I was the kid that was scooped out of class several times a week to be taken for extra help. As I would walk down the hallway to a partitioned corner of the library that doubled as a resource room, I can remember the pattern of the linoleum on the floors. I can remember the color of the carpet. Looking back now, I realize why I can remember the floors of my elementary school. It's because my head was always down. You see, even then I could sense that somehow I didn't quite fit. I didn't quite measure up. I may not have understood the concept of success at that age, but I could already feel the deep shame of failure. In high school, my struggles continued. Although I was an avid reader by that point, often completing books in a single sitting, I still struggled in other subject areas, following a predictable pattern of failed classes and summer school. From grade 10 on, finding little success in school, I began to miss classes, more likely to be found sitting at the local coffee shop than behind a desk. With no connections to my school community, I had found my own place to fit in, my own extracurricular activities, the kind that get you called down to the principal's office on a Friday afternoon. But somehow, I never got that call. In hindsight, my teachers must have known what I was doing. I used to write my own notes. I've seen them. They were really bad. But I was lucky, not because I didn't get caught, but because I had teachers who took advantage of those times when I was in class to learn my story, to understand the context behind my behaviors. They took the time to see the good kid behind the bad choices. I'm so grateful that my teachers had a broader definition of success, one that wasn't determined only by letter grades and trophies, one that included a vision of my potential, a vision of who I could become. So why do I share my story, my challenges? Because our stories are important. Because I want our students to know that it's okay if they follow a slightly different path to success, that it's okay if they don't have all of the answers yet, if they're still struggling to find their place, their passion, their purpose. We must understand that the students that walk through the front doors of our schools and into our classrooms are not empty vessels. They each have their own story, their own context, and we need to learn it. We owe it to our students to have a broader definition of success, one that isn't determined by their failures, one that allows them to move into that next stage of their life, one that envisions a future that will embrace, even demand, a wider, more diverse set of skills and abilities. I'm a vice principal of a high school of over 1,200 students. That terrifies me. Over 1,200 stories to learn. But the good news is I'm not alone. I have help. Each member of my school community has a role to play, a responsibility to learn those stories, and that takes time. It takes time to really see each student, especially the ones that are doing their very best to remain invisible. But I challenge you to invest the time in those very students, the good kids that might be making bad choices, the students that need you to see their potential before they can see it in themselves. I challenge you to broaden your definition of success so that there is a place in our schools and in our hearts for all students. Thank you. Thank you.